Hey, Bruce. Sorry about the video. Hey, let me ask you if you just, we know that Levante and some of those guys, Shaq, coming off IR, or at least got the 21-day window. Didn't see Cyril, didn't see some other guys. What's the progress today of those?
Yeah, the only guys that I wouldn't have practiced today was Cyril Grayson, Ronald Jones, and Anthony Nelson. The guys in the 21-day, they're just, it was a walkthrough anyway, so we won't know much about any of those guys anyway. But, I think Cyril and Rojo are doubtful. Anthony Nelson, got my fingers crossed. So, because he's been playing really, really good.
And the, forecasts change every day, especially in Florida, right? But looks like you could get a good bit of wind and maybe even a little bit of rain. How much, I know it'll affect the kicking game, but you've got one of the better bad weather quarterbacks, right? How much would that affect your passing game?
It shouldn't affect it at all. Depends, what kind of wind is it directed? Is it across the field? How bad's the gust? Those things do affect it. But that's one thing about Tom. He's played in a bunch of bad weather and a lot colder. So at least it'll be in the 70s.
Thanks.
We'll go to Greg Allman.
Hey, Bruce. First, just want to check with you on Anthony Nelson in terms of what he's dealing with injury-wise.
He's got an ankle, but we'll see how it is. We'll see how it is as the week progresses.
Sure. Hey, Bruce, I want to ask you just about first quarters, opening drives. It's something that both teams Sunday have struggled with of late, and just how crucial it is that you guys get out the gate in a way that kind of lets you control the game early on.
I mean, that would be great. The fast starts are always a luxury, but I'd much rather finish strong. And are they concerning? Not really, but it's a great bonus when you do, and especially when you get on that script and you go down the field, which we've done a bunch this year, going down and score. We just haven't done it recently.
Thanks, Bruce.
You bet.
Next, we'll go to Jenna Lane.
Hey, Coach, we miss seeing you in person already right now, but at least I got to go to practice and watch you guys in person, so that's good. You had mentioned the guys that came back. I don't know how much you actually had everybody do today, but I didn't know if you could share like the progress, like what Shaq was maybe able to do. I saw him; he had that knee brace on. What Lenny was able to do, what Levante was able to do.
Well, it was just a walkthrough, so
yeah,
they really don't know anything about any of them yet. We'll know more tomorrow.
Gotcha. Wasn't sure if you did any drills on top of that.
We'll go to Kevin O'Donnell.
Hey, Bruce. I know this it was a while back when you played the Philadelphia Eagles earlier this season. How different is this team right now? They got on a pretty good roll late in the year, it seems.
Oh, yeah, totally different. Playing with a ton of confidence. Won a bunch of ball games since we played them, and so once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. So they're going to be fired up. They got a ton of weapons, and they look pretty healthy. So yeah, it's a totally different football team than we played back there in October.
Do you prefer playing a team that you've already faced during the season, or is it create some questions of trying to second guess them all the time?
No, I'm just happy we're playing. I'll play anybody this time of year.
All right, thank you.
We'll go to Ira Kaufman.
Bruce, long season, you got a lot of walking wounded, but Bruce, through 17 games, the standby, the reliability has been the health of the offensive line and Brady given time to throw the ball. So Bruce, in the second season, isn't that what gives you the most confidence going forward is Brady and Brady given time?
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt. And you got to have a running game too. I mean, it can't be one dimensional, but we've got to have a running game, go with it, and defensively getting healthy and playing a little bit better.
And Bruce, the first half of the first Philly game, they had 5 first downs, 73 yards. You're up by 2 touchdowns. They moved the ball in the second half, but Levante David didn't play in that game, Bruce. So how critical could his health be going into this game?
Oh, it's a huge addition if we can get him back out there. Just being an all-pro player, but also his leadership ability and everything that he brings would be a huge blessing if he can play.
Thanks, Bruce.
We'll go to John Ledyard.
Bruce, I'm just curious with Jason Pierre-Paul. I know that he sat out a couple games to end the year, and I'm just wondering, was that something that you thought could actually improve his injury situation, or like where he actually was playing without pain, or is he kind of in the same spot, just was an opportunity to get him a couple games off?
He's healthier. He's not totally healthy, but he's healthier than he would have been playing. So that was the plan all along, is to get him as healthy as we possibly could for the playoffs.
And for Richard Sherman, I know he's going to injured reserve. Will he have a formal role as a coach, or is he just kind of around helping out? What does that look like?
No, he's not a formal. He's still a player, and but he's been a great addition. I told him the other day, man, I'm so happy we signed him because he's been an unbelievable addition to our football team.
We'll go to Rick Stroud.
Bruce, I don't know how much work you did on him coming out, but what do you like about Jalen Hurts, who clearly is in a different place than he was when you played him in October as well?
Yeah, a great leader. Great leader. That's the one thing you heard everywhere he'd been since high school. He's a fantastic leader and an unbelievable competitor. And that's what you want as your quarterback, because people follow him. And when you're an unbelievable competitor, and he's a workaholic too. I mean, he's a gym rat type of guy. So there's so many good things about him, and he's throwing the ball, especially downfield, really real well right now.
We have time for a few more. Next, we'll go to Greg Auman.
Hey, Bruce, you guys had Tristan Wirfs mic'd up during Sunday's game, and you get a sense of the confidence and kind of the comfort that he's in just his second NFL season. I know you'd never take that for granted, but just want to ask you how steady he's been for you on the right side of that line.
Oh yeah, tremendous. I mean, he's graded extremely high every single week, and still working on different technique things, but because he can get better. But yeah, he's been extremely solid. That's for sure.
We'll go to Evan Klosky.
Hey, Bruce, I know that you did a walkthrough today, but I'm just wondering what the vibes were like on the practice field today, maybe compared to what it was last year when you were beginning your playoff run. And if you can kind of sense that this is a different ball game now that the playoffs have begun.
No, there's no doubt. Yeah. I mean, as soon as everybody walked in the building today, 2021's over. It's a whole new season, and nothing matters except winning this week. And everybody's in tune to that, and you can feel it in the building.
We'll close out with a question from Joey Knight.
Coach, so much is made of Hurts, but what are your impressions of the other guys in their backfield, specifically Miles Sanders?
Oh man, they got a hell of a stable of running backs, and Miles Sanders is one of the best there is. I mean, he's proven it over the years. But those young guys, boy, they, Gainwell and Boston, all those guys, they can tote the rock and they can catch it. That's what makes them very, very special. But yeah, they got weapons everywhere. I mean, this might be the best group of young wide receivers and tight ends in the game right now.
All right, that's all we have time for. Appreciate taking the time, Coach.
Thanks, guys.